do a live stream between Zoom and YouTube. When it's preparing that live streaming, it's setting up the meeting for YouTube Live, and then I get a direct feed for that. So if I share my screen, what do you see then, Valeria?
A live stream of the class.
Right, and you see yourself, right? So that's why we want everyone to look good. And I get a little logo in the corner saying powered by the U, right? Why? Why does it have that little, why did it have that little logo, Valeria? Is because I'm using the university Zoom, the enterprise Zoom. So if I went to, everybody can try to do that. Go on your computer, go to zoom.miami.edu where you can view my part. This is my Zoom. And here it's all coming up with all my upcoming meetings that I have. Valeria, you'll be doing Zoom as well on your own, and we'll be doing some teamwork that you'll be doing it. And if you go down, you see here, Valeria, the settings. Do you see that where my cursor is, Valeria? I go to settings. You can see that under, they have something called AI Companion in Zoom, which they're already incorporating AI into Zoom. And what it is AI as a companion, is a smart assistant that will appear in Zoom and can be opened with the AI Sparkle icon. And you can ask questions of the AI smart assistant. The AI companion will be able to access Zoom data, meeting summaries. Notice, Lily, this is new. Do you see that? We didn't have it last semester. So one of the exciting things for Lily, even though she's been with me last semester, she keeps on learning. Isn't that fantastic? That you said, oh, I know how to use Zoom. And now you can see that the university also is allowing it to be used. You remember the university a year ago was paranoid about using anything with AI. And now they've broken down and they said, okay, we should, the students are surpassing us. We can't keep it the genie in the bottle anymore. So you can see here also allow users to ask AI companion questions about the meeting. It wasn't done before. Meeting summaries with the AI companion. Do you see that? Summarize with AI companion. Do you see that under the team chat, Lily? Summarize the chats, channels, shared documents. Compose with AI companion. Sentence completion, quick scheduling, recording highlights, summary chapters. You see in terms of the team chat, this is new. Lily, it'd be interesting to look at create with avatars. Create clips that your users chose an avatar to read the script they enter. I don't know what that is even. We'll find out, huh, Lily? And then create custom avatars. We'll see if that's useful. We'll see whether that whiteboard content generation. So in terms of making up the assignment, I want all the students to be able to know what these are and to use them. You guys, my teaching assistants, need to be able to figure that out. Under recording, you see here of the steps, right? We want to make it able to see that we're going to be doing the live stream. I don't know, where is that in the general? I'm not even sure. Figure out where the live streaming is, right? The meeting, the recording to live stream. See if that's available even. So you'll be doing this next week, but I wanted to let Lily know right? That we'll be looking at it. Okay. The next thing is, let's go. Some of you are new to the class. Others of you, I want to make sure. In the section BTE210-J, you'll see let me just go through this real quickly. You'll see the fall syllabus. I don't know if anything needs to be changed there. You can contact with Daniel Lilly. But you see here, this is me, Dr. Sarah Rushanek. I go by Dr. Rush. It's just easier. Everybody calls me Dr. Rush. The best way to get a hold of me is through my email. Anytime you send an email to me, make sure you put in BTE210 and the section J in there. And did you put, Lily, in the chat how people can get in touch with you?
Yes, I said through email. I put in
Okay,
my email in the chat.
so everybody look at the chat and you'll see Lily's way. Lily is I have 3 teaching assistants, but Lily is in charge of this section of J. So she was last semester and I really enjoyed having her. And what especially turned out is she went beyond what the class was assignments and trying to find out on her own and being inquisitive. That's really the idea. You need, of course, a laptop and a camera and an internet connection. Sometimes we have issues with that. And then Wiley Plus is the book we're using. And what else is important? If you're not able to this semester, if you have to miss a class due to observance of a religious holiday, make sure that you send me an email before the 3rd class by next week. And what else do I need? To make sure that you realize all our classes are recorded. They're available via Blackboard and YouTube. You see here, this is key here. I want to emphasize again, we have 2 exams in this class. They count, each of them count 20% of your grade, and they are in person. They are not online. So we will meet physically, face to face, right? And then the final project and assignments, and make sure that you put this in your calendar now. October 8th, it will be in person in Jenkins SBA 204 Computer Lab. And on the 2nd exam will be on November 17th in the computer lab. And the last day of class is December 1st. You will be making a group presentation at that day, and your final project will be due the time of the final exam. Okay, on November 24th, any person that has a Monday class, the university is holding classes remotely. We don't have to worry about that. We hold all our classes except for the exams remotely. And the reason is September 1st, there's no class on Labor Day, so they make it up on that date to have the same number of hours. Okay. Now, Wiley Plus. I've talked to Wiley Plus, and those of you that have course pack that you've purchased in the pack, Wiley Plus should work for you. So when you just click on an adaptive assignment, we'll do that today, it should put you through without having to worry about any paywall. That's what they told me. We have to check on that. So that is the syllabus. You have the Zoom meetings, and what is essential for you is to always go to the what's due section. You see that, Sandro? The what's due section will tell you what you are doing. in the first weeks, we're going a little bit, we're giving you more time just because people, just like today, are adding, dropping, so everybody's on the way. But if you look, you're going to sign up for Wiley Plus. You'll do the readings of chapter 1. You'll do the adaptive assignments. You'll do quizzes. And these are you'll need to sign up for the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and Financial Times for free. So if I go to this and open in a new tab, you'll see that I have from the University of Miami. I always like to have you get the latest and take advantage of being University of Miami community. So everyone that has UMID can get the Financial Times, the New York Times, and the Wall Street Journal for free. Otherwise, there's a paywall for those. I like to take advantage of it. And every week I will give you articles that we can get real-time news that's important for information technology. So if you look at the Financial Times, for instance, and you see that, you see the Financial Times, you can read the Financial Times, but what I want you to do particularly is to look at tech. And under tech, you see how it's broken down to artificial intelligence, semiconductors, cybersecurity, and social media. I'd like you particularly to look at artificial intelligence, though we will look at cybersecurity and some social media. So if I look into artificial intelligence, you'll see a number of articles there that what's happening. You can see here, I think AI will really work well with mental health, especially with our counseling center. There's not enough counselors. It's hard to get appointments. And in this case, the AI, you can see, has some issues. You can see about chat AI friends emerging, and then you can see a number of articles that you have. The same thing with the New York Times, Wall Street Journal. What I like about the Wall Street Journal, if you go to tech, look how they break it up. AI, biotech, cybersecurity. What I like you to look at, especially for this class, is AI. And then if we look at the AI, you can see what's happening here. The whole idea is we need to get people that are qualified in AI. So GM, General Motors, is even rating Silicon Valley. You can see is Google is beating Apple on smartphone AI. I'll look at it next week, and Lily, this is new, but Google now has a promotion. Anyone that's a student over the age of 18 can get Google Pro.
Yeah, I
And
already got it and
great,
I'm trying it out.
great. So I want you to try it out, and everybody in the class. And what's going to be great is like Google Notebook LM that helps you with the study guides. Now they have video, and they allow you now to get 2 terabytes of data. And they allow you, for instance, if you want to do Google Video, they allow you, rather than do one a day, you can do many, and they're allowing you to do several. So we're going to be able to get that. What's the downside of AI is all this cyber criminals now. Hey, they can imitate me. They can do fake websites that look like the real thing. Before, it was easy to find a fake website. It was, you used to get phishing or spam. It was easy to see that it wasn't correct because they'd had spelling mistakes. Now you're not going to even have that. It's going to be very hard, but you'll see here on what's happening with AI, and the same thing with the New York Times. So that's available to you. And these are the 2 articles that I'd like you to read by next week, of looking at from the Wall Street Journal on how ITs are overloaded with busy work and how AI can help, and also talk about a video that you should look at. So what's due is going to be crucial. The other part is the audit assignment instructions. We'll talk about that next week. But basically what we're going to do, if you think about it, Sandro, is right now in this class, what role do you take on? Are you taking the role of instructor or student? Sandro.
Student.
And what role is me? Do I have?
Instructor.
Instructor. Do I have more rights than you? What?
Sorry, yes.
Yeah, this is being recorded, so nobody's going to follow your head shaking, right? So you're going to need to unmic yourself. So in that case, Sandro, what is your major?
Finance.
I was going to say, I could have, Lily, I could have predicted that, right? Why should I even ask? It's finance, right? But in this case, what you'll be able to do is think about in finance, right? Who looks at data? You don't want everybody to look at everybody's salaries. You don't want everybody to look at everybody's portfolios, right? There has to be some type of rules and regulations. So in this class, in this section, in this instance of BTE210-J, you are the student. Do you think you should look at other student grades or only your own grades, Sandro, for this class?
Only my own.
Only your own, right? Do you have a business? It's basically what I call it. And basically, let me just deal with it here in IT. I'm going to put it right here. You see that IT roles. The question you're always going to ask is the need to know. Do I need to know that information to do my job? You need to know your grades, right? So you can see how you're progressing through the course, right? It wouldn't be, but do you need to know other students' grades? No. And it's the same thing. Basically, should you be able to change grades in this class? No, right? I should be able to insert grades, right? It's just like payroll. I should, I can view my salary, but I cannot change my salary. I think I deserve 10 times more, right? But they're not allowing me, right, in the payroll to be able to change my salary. But in this private university, I only see my own unless there's a need to know. For instance, my deans have the priority to be able, since they're my supervisor, to be able to see my salary. I'm able to see my teaching assistant's salary. I'm able to approve their hours and the times they work. Makes sense, Sandro? So what we're going to do when I call it the audit assignments, I'm going to make, that's going to be a separate instance in Blackboard where you and everyone in my class will become teaching assistants. So in that section, you will have the rights to add, delete. In my section where I give grades, you cannot add and delete material. In that section, I will give you the role. So when I see this area of audit assignments, when you're going to be working in teams, when you're going to be uploading data, you'll be able to do all of that. So the other part is widely reading and adaptive. You will notice here it says adaptive assignment. It says reading widely. This is where you do the reading. In the widely reading, you can see here, I allow you to see the chapters. And in the chapters, this is the book. And always at the end of every chapter is an adaptive assignment to do. Have you done it yet, Sandro?
Not yet.
Okay, so have you signed up yet?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll see if it does. In this case, if I click on Chapter 1, Information Systems, it will come back and say Wiley Plus assignment launch, open assignment. Now, what role am I, Sandro? You're on a roll today. I'm the instructor. Will I view it differently, my end versus your end, Sandro?
Yes.
Of course, right? When I open the assignment, I will get an overview. I get, and this is called a dashboard. Have you ever heard of a dashboard, Sandra? This gives me, based on the role that I have, I'm the instructor, should I be able to see all my students? Of course. You should not, but I am now sharing this with you. And notice 2 people have completed the assignment. 23 have not started, but it looks like 23 have signed up. So 25 students have signed up. How many students do I have? I think I have 40. So a number of students have not even signed up. They need to do this. And so they tell me, why are they showing to me? A dashboard basically summarizes what I need to know based on my role. I need to know who is in progress, who is struggling, who is complete. So what should I be able to say? As these 2 people, maybe they can help the others, right? At least these 23 have signed up. What about, in this case, for Lily, who has the teaching assistant role? She can see this too. So next week, when the assignment is due, let's say after Wednesday, she can see who has not even basically got into the Wiley Plus, have signed up. It's important for her. And then if I want to see what we call what, if I want to scroll down, if I want to go enter it into more detail for visually, right, I'm able to see all the students that have signed up. So in this case, I see Maya. Maya, are you here? Right?
Yes.
So I see Maya, and then I see in this case that Connor, is Connor here? You want to unmic yourself, Connor?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, great. So Connor, you see that you've already taken the initiative and you've completed the assignment 100%. So in this case, I can see then Ariane is in progress. I can see David Smith that has completed it. And I see Sandro that hasn't started, but I can see already Sandro. And it's important that I get feedback from you, Sandro, to know at least you have now been in the system, because you may have thought you signed up, but the system didn't get back to it. Everybody understand? So this, I'm showing you the back end, because later on, Sandro, that's what I want you to see, is the back end. But you don't have permission to see my POV, my point of view. But later on, I want to give you another instance of it where you'll have the point of view that you'll be able to know how to use a learning management system like Blackboard from the administrator's end. Does that make sense to you? So that's what I want to make sure that everybody sees that where we go to it. So if I go, so every week on the what's due, you need to make sure when it says Wiley Reading and Adaptive that you go here. The other part, when I'm looking at it, Connor, is quizzes. You'll do the adaptive, which you did, right, Connor? And then have you done the quizzes?
I have, yeah.
Let me show you the quizzes. The quizzes, now I'm in edit mode. And if you look at it, if I get off of edit mode, you see a lot of the things that you don't see in the background, but you'll see that it's been set up that on August 25th, you'll see this. On September 3rd, you'll see it. It's automated. This way, Lily doesn't have to open it each time, right, Lily? that it's already set the date. We want to have the computer, this is my own sense, I want the computer to do the busy work. The more the computer can do, and it can do it even better than me, and it doesn't forget as much, as I want the computer to do that, to be efficient. So at this point, if I go to introduction information system, you had it available, Connor, but I want to show you the back end, right? That you'll see how I've set that up so you could edit the test or edit the test options. I'm going to look at edit the test options because all of this you're going to be starting to do next week, is set this up. And notice here it says the quiz. It says show the test description in the students before they begin. It says open the test in the new window, and it says make available to students. Since this is done already and it's just going to be automated, I don't have to worry about it. And what Daniel did is he didn't add a new announcement for this test when it was done, because he wants everybody, he thought, to go to what's due section. I used to do the add new announcement, but I can see his point. What do you think, Lily?
I like his way of thinking about it. Also, Professor, do you want to do attendance?
Perfect idea. Why don't we do this? Let me just finish this and we'll do attendance.
All right, sounds
Perfect. I
good.
appreciate you coming out with it. Let me finish this. We'll do attendance and I'll have you do the attendance. You'll share your screen. So you get more experience, Lily, and then you'll feel much more confident here. So I'm giving, in this case, I'm giving multiple attempts. I'm giving you 2. I could have given you 1, but I say, why not? You can do it open-ended. I don't care. But you can see here, but your last grade attempt will be scored. So listen, if you got it, you should be doing better, not worse, right? I'm not even forcing completion. It can be open-ended. You can get all the ways. I'm not timing it, and it's going to be displayed. The only difference, what I want to tell you, is in your exams, part of your exams will be similar to this. You will be coming to the lab, and instead of you'll be doing it on the computer, you'll be taking part of your exam as multiple choice. But the difference in this case, Connor, is how many attempts in your exam will I give, you think? Connor?
Just one, I think.
Just one. Makes sense, right? We're doing it, and I'm going to force completion. I'm going to set a timer. There's time constraints. If you need more time based on documentation, you will get more time. I will give my exams in person. Even those that need more time, they will join me there, because that way, Connor, you get feedback from me. I'm there. So if something's not clear, I'd rather you have it there than taking it other places. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing. Let's see if I've promoted you, if you can do the attendance. You understand, Lily? We're checking this out. So we have the attendance. You've checked in already. And you want to put, Lily, you want to put this in the chat, the code. Put that in of 7152. So everybody take attendance now. We'll continue, but we're doing it this semester. This is different too, right, Lily? We're taking it in various times. We'll see how that works out. Everything in life is an experiment.
Right. Yeah, last semester we did it at the end of class, and now we're doing it randomly.
We're gonna be doing it a variable, okay?
Right.
Perfect. All right. I appreciate it. So we have check-in. So Lily, you know what would be good? Can you share? I always like the back end. Can you share the attendance and look at the record so people can see the back end?
Yeah, I'll do that now.
So you can see here, this is the back end. When people are here, you can see that they checked it off. So if you have any issues of checking in or something like that, for this class, Lily's in charge of attendance. If there's for anything that in advance that you get documentation for, you can get accepted updates and things like that. Thank you. So you can stop sharing. So we got any questions on how this class is run? Gwyneth, any questions that you have?
No, I
Okay.
don't have questions.
Okay, we're great. All right, so let's go through this now. I'm going to share my screen. And now I know that at this point, let's go back. Oh, and then you have the PowerPoints and documents. Let me just turn my edit mode off so I see what you do. You can see here that you have the PowerPoints for each chapter. You have some in PDF. Later on, we'll talk about how to summarize, how to help you study. We'll use AI tools to do that as well, and speaker notes. And this we'll talk about next week. So we have the quizzes we talked about. We talked about the quizzes, and the Wiley adaptive will be graded by the machine. Other audit assignment instructions will be graded by humans, right, Lily? And later on, maybe we'll do some more grading bots on that, right? But right now, we're doing humans to do that. Okay, so we got that part. So let's everybody go to Widely Reading and Adaptive. And in that, I want to go to Introduction to Information Systems. And if you think about it, this should get to these sections, should get to the book itself. So if I do, for instance, 1.2, and in this case, I do 1.2, I have the overview of computer-based information systems. You'll see that it talks about data, information, and knowledge, and it gives you some ideas here. Then it talks about computer-based information systems consists of hardware, it consists of databases, it consists of software, it consists of procedures that link this, and it consists of networks. And they said it consists of hardware, software, databases, network, procedures, and people. And then they give you this little diagram. In the beginning, it says business intelligence systems dashboards. Dashboards, we talked about it like we did for the adaptive. And then this area looks like almost like the School of Business departments, right? It has accounting, it has finance, it has production operations management. Everything IS stands for information systems. It has marketing, it has human resources. And then down below, it says we have IT components, IT personnel, IT services, and IT infrastructure. And you know what, Connor? This is a lot of words. And what it makes sense to me and you and how we can use it for business is not clear. You agree with me, Connor?
I agree with that.
I agree. So let's look at this. Take out your phone, Connor. I bet you have a phone nearby, right? Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, everybody take out your phone. And what I'd like you to do, go to your keypad. And what I'd like you to do in your keypad, let me get my notes out for a second. What I want to talk about today with you is what we call intelligent AI callers. Sometimes it's called intelligent AI ID callers or caller ID. And if I think about it, Connor, and everybody, right? Everybody has a phone and you have a number attached to it, right? So if you gave me your number, I could call you or I could text to you your number. You agree with me, Connor? No big shakes, right?
I agree with
The
that. Yeah.
idea is I cannot attach that number in a way is kind of dumb. All I can do is I can send you a chat, I can send you an email, you can use your number to go on WhatsApp, but I cannot attach a AI chatbot. I cannot attach a large language model to that. In order to do that, I can get a phone number, and that phone number has to be provisioned to accept a chat. I'm almost thinking as a chatbot, but I'm almost thinking of a large language model. So, Connor, you got your phone? And I want this for everybody, but everybody put your Zoom on mute, but Connor, I want you to unmute yourself.
Okay.
Okay? And what I want everybody to do is on your keypad, basically call 1-800-CHAT-GPT. And Connor, I just want you to put it in. I don't want you to press enter on it, but I just want you to do it. Everybody do that. You hear what I'm saying, Maya? Go to your keypad. Everybody swipe. And so you're going to type in 1-800. And then how are you going to type in chat? Connor, what digit do you need for chat?
242.
Okay, C for 2, right? I need 1-800. C for 2. What else?
4 for H.
4 for H. What else?
And then 2 for A again. Or
2
2
for
for
A
L.
again. What else?
8 for T.
8 for T.
Um,
GPT. What else?
4 for G.
4 for G. What else?
7 for P.
7 for P. And what else?
8 for T.
8 for T. And don't press the enter key or the green key, but what do you think you'll get on the other end?
Probably
Let's think
ChatGPT.
about it. Connor.
Probably,
If we press enter and we called that number, what do you think you'll get on the other end?
probably a large language model.
And what is the name of that large language model?
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT. Have you ever used ChatGPT? I bet you have, right?
I have, yeah.
You have. So let's see it. Call it. And
Okay.
put it on speakerphone so everybody hears it.
All right.
Hi, I'm ChatGPT, an AI assistant. Just so you know, our conversation may be reviewed for safety. By continuing this call, you agree to OpenAI's terms and privacy policy. So, how can I help you today?
Ask her about what is IT infrastructure.
What would you like to ask about?
What is IT infrastructures?
IT infrastructures cover all the hardware, software, networks, and facilities that support your IT services. It includes storage, networking equipment, and more. What specifically are you interested in about IT infrastructure?
Ask her about how the university can use this. Give examples about the university using IT infrastructure.
Can you give an example of the university using IT infrastructures?
In a university, IT infrastructure supports online learning platforms, digital libraries, and student information systems. It includes servers for hosting websites and storing data, networks for campus connectivity, and security systems to protect sensitive information. These components work together to ensure smooth operation of academic and administrative services.
Okay, tell her thank you. And
Thank you.
You're welcome.
okay. So did you see, who was this new to? Raise your hand if you've ever. Isn't that great? So basically, this was Connor, this was on a hackathon, and everybody needs to have their cameras on always. So, and Anastasia, Luke, Ian, Robert. So what we think about is what? This is an example of an intelligent AI caller that instead of just a regular phone number, ChatGPT, what they said is, we'll get a phone number and we'll put within that phone number attached the Chat GPT large language model. What I want to do in this class is that everybody get a phone number that can take a language model, but what we'll do is we'll train it according to the business that we create. We're all going to be AI consultants. We're going to use all the tools, and we're going to be able to promote as consultancy. We can use it ourselves, and then it will say then, Connor, about, let's say what is your major, Connor? Is it finance?
Yeah, I'm majoring in finance.
Right. Anything else or just finance?
Minoring in business analytics as well.
Business analytics. So maybe we can have a consulting on business analytics in finance, right? And you can be consultants and train it. And then basically when people call that number, they won't get Connor. What will they get? They'll get just like ChatGPT, and they'll say, welcome, we're for AI analytics or fin analytics. And then can you tell me about that company? You know, who are the founders? And then they'll say Connor, and you can let them know, right? You can put prompts in it. And then have you ever heard about hallucinations, Connor? AI doing hallucinating?
Yeah, I have.
What does that mean?
It's basically when it, like, from my understanding, it's when it like makes up information, sort of just rambles on about its own
Right.
thing.
And what the problem is, if you don't know the area well, it says it in such an authoritative and clear manner, you don't even realize it, right? So just think about it. If you're looking for health, you get some kind of test result for health in your health blood work, and you ask it, and you say, what does this number mean? They could tell you a bunch of BS, and you wouldn't even know it, right? Unless you were, let's say, a cardiologist or something like that. So what I want to do is what traditionally AI models do is they try to be pleasant and they try to be agreeable. So when you ask them a question, they try to give an answer. What I want to do is train the model to say, guess what, Connor? I don't know. It's very rare for those models that I have no idea, just like you guys, right? Or you ask me something about, being an astronaut. I have no idea, right? I can guess, right? So I want them to say, if they say, do you have services that you can create a number like this for me? Like when I'm doing this caller ID, intelligent caller, and I want them, if they don't know the answer, I want them to respond, Connor, I don't know, but let me have someone else join our conversation that can tell us. So maybe they could reach out to you or somebody on the team and say, Connor, are you available to join this team? You would join our conversation and say, yes, we provide that service. And for the first month, it's going to be free. And then I want it to learn the AI. So the next time the next person asks that question, when they call your number, and hopefully you can get what I call a vanity number that I don't even have to remember. I can remember. You now know what the number of that number. What was the number? 1-800-CHAT-GPT. You won't forget it. So maybe I'll call it, 1-800 fin analyst or something, that you can do. We'll see if we can get vanity numbers and you can attach it. Pretty neat, no? So those are the kind of things I want to do rather than spending, in this case, when it seems so esoteric, all those terms. I want you to use AI, and even you can use 1-800-CHAT-GPT or any of the other ones. Give me examples. It's basically how you learn to prompt it, to understand, to bring it to life. I don't need to read for you. I expect, Connor, you know how to read. And then you come to me and say, you know what, Dr. Rush, this is something I don't understand. What's the difference between an operating system and, something else? or the infrastructure, I'm not quite sure about it, then we'll discuss it. But if it's plain vanilla, I don't have to go through all the terms for you. You can get, the beauty is knowledge now is a commodity. You can get that. You don't have to memorize all of that, right? That's the beauty. Where I want you in the human is you use your creativity and think about some new idea, how to present, what's lacking here. Maybe it's training, maybe presenting with these analytics. That's where I think everybody should be, humans should be in the center, and you should not have to do all that tedious work. But there's going to be challenges with that, right? Now everybody's going to be able, and I want to even figure out ways, Connor, what really needs to be disruptive is education. Where everybody was, you remember in the beginning, oh, it's cheating using ChatGPT and using all these. My contention, I want you to use it. I don't want you wasting time. But what I want you to do is when you're creating your website or when you're creating any of your work, I want you to read what it produces. And a lot of times now it produces kind of generic kind of things that it doesn't do an excellent job, that you can prompt it and make it better. Give me these vague ideas what it comes out. Lily saw it, right? When we were doing it, it puts it out. It looks nice and it's spelled correctly, but it really doesn't give me the essence of it. We still need that natural intelligence. Maybe later on it'll get better and better. That's my version, of what's even for this semester, ChatGPT 5 and the others. And we'll do Google's now providing, now we'll do that next week, is for the university students to get their pro version, their paid version for free. And I'll give you the link there, that I want you to get as much as you can. You got the idea, Connor, where this class is going? And if you like that way, please join me. And if you like a traditional class where the instructor gives you the PowerPoints and go throughs and give you the test and very little hands-on, this isn't the class for you. There's other, sections doing that. But my idea is, hey, I want you guys to have the most skills that later on, when you guess what they say, Dana, with AI, there ain't going to be any jobs for entry level. Have you heard that? Well, my contention is that's true if you don't know how to work with AI. I don't care if you're going to be law, you're going to be finance, you're going to be analytics, you're going to be marketing. You need to know, that's my contention, how to work with it and how to take advantage of it. And if you don't, employers are saying, I don't need you. Programmers now, straight programmers, if they don't know how to use AI and the coding methods, they're going to be out of a job. But it's good to have that background that they'll be doing. Same thing with musicians. Did you see that, Lily? We had the musicians kind of come in and use AI. Some of my musician friends hate it. The idea that, she one of my favorite musicians there, she says, Dr. Rush, I hate it because now every idiot can, write songs. And I said, yeah, but they can't write. I said, I'm one of those musicians that are idiots, but I can't write a song as well as you can, so it can help you, but we always have that discussion.
Yeah.
What else, Lily? Anything else that we need to share with the students?
Well, for Wiley Plus, we have 30 who have signed up so far, which is good, but we still need 10 more to sign up.
Okay, it's like we're on a fund drive.
Yeah.
Call in, make your donation.
And if you have any problems with attendance or Wiley Plus, please just email me and I can figure it out for you.
Okay, so Connor, thanks for helping me out on that. But I think you got the broad view of it. So that's what I'm doing. Every week we will have work. And what I want is we'll be working individually, we'll be working with teams. And have you ever had, Connor, have you ever worked with teams, like groups?
I have, yeah.
And has it always worked out that everybody did their share of the work?
Not really.
Not really. So I'm requiring everybody at least to say that you're going to be doing your share of the work. And if you want to be the slackers, this is also not the class for you. There's other classes that they don't mind. And guess what? We're all new to this. I'm going to be learning as much from you as you're learning from me. I see it as the opposite. I see like a cooperative thing. Say, hey, this is not working, and we're going to learn how to document when it's not working and report back and do documentations on it. Right, Lily? And we're struggling. You know, now in even Zoom, there was a way in which I used to have to fight with the administration. Give me this AI access, give me this AI access. And they said, oh, we'll make a special, provision for you, Dr. Rush. We'll make a separate server for you. You'll sign on. And I said, I don't want special favors. Just make it available for, everybody. And now it seems like they're doing more of that. So, and everybody has to struggle, where are my guidelines? What we're going to have cybersecurity, where can, they can, all that crime, the criminals can use it just as well as we can, and it makes it easier to be a criminal, when you have all this AI. I can dupe somebody, I can pretend. Before it was difficult. Okay, you got it? Anything else? So David Camacho and Robert and Denise, one of the things is it's a requirement to have your faces shown.
I'm sorry, I have a question.
Okay. All right. And you need to be not on a phone. You need to be in front of a computer. I know sometimes it's an issue, but if you want to be in this class, you need to be in a quiet place, not in a car, not in a train, not in a bar. I had one time, did I tell you that, Lily? I had one time where you were using it. They were at a bar, I said, give me a break, The bed is really hard too. If I were in my bed, I'd be sleeping and snoring. So,
A bar is pretty
and
funny
if you
though.
can't, what?
A bar is pretty funny though.
Yeah, it
That
was. I made her turn on her camera, and she was quite attractive sitting at that bar, but I don't know. So if I have no problem with bars, but if you don't have time out for me, then that'll be an issue too. Okay. So I look forward, those of you that would like to join me on, I'm giving this as almost like my teaser, right? My training session, you almost have that trailer. Do I like it or not? And if you don't like it, it's fine too. Everybody has different ways. And a lot of people, online is really difficult. It's easier to be in front of somebody. At least, my neighbor could wake me up or something while I'm snoring. So this is our challenge. So I'm trying to figure out ways in which to disrupt education. So if you want to join, and everything is, I do a lot of research, I do a lot of speaking engagements, I do a lot of consultings, and I'm always surprised when I go out and then I said, this is what my students are doing, right, Lily? And they're going, wow, I didn't know all that, right? So hopefully we will work together as a team. Okay, stay with me if you have questions. Otherwise, everybody knows what to do. We'll start rolling up our sleeves, right, Connor? And starting next week on doing it. I think it's exciting, It's also challenging. Everything's not going to work, And when somebody says it's easy, no problem, I know one or two things. Either they're lying to me or they don't know what they're talking about, because there's always challenges. But that's the fun of it, finding solutions. Okay. Take care, stay with me. And thank you, Lily, for taking your time out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay with me, Lily, and we'll see. And stay with me if you have extra questions or you have some comments or how I can help you. Okay, so Joseph, do you have a question, comment? Let me do this. Let me stop my YouTube. Remind me.